On channel 1. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It's. I think you're getting the first ones, Mick, anyway.
Oh, okay.
Are we doing it together?
Yeah, so we're going to do Michail first, and then Michail will leave, and the manager will take over from there.
How are you?
I'm not too bad, you?
Long time,
No, no. Okay. Ready? Looks like it, yeah. Go for it, yeah.
Michail, first of all, just give us an idea of what the confidence or the feeling is in the camp, and just explain about how your journey, because from non-league football to playing in a European quarter-final with a chance to get to a semi-final.
It's been a long journey. That's one thing it's definitely been. Obviously, signing my professional contract at 18, never been in the academy team, working my way up to get to where I am now. Obviously, starting off as a right back and played all the different positions that I've played. Now playing centre forward. It's been a dream of mine, obviously, to play in Europe and to get to a quarter final first time asking. It's been amazing, and the boys are buzzing, we're buzzing, and the way things are going now, we're going to win it. We're not in it to win it, and that's the plan. Cal?
I look back at your tweet from last week, and what did you say? You said, things don't go your way, you fold or fight, and you come out swinging. What does that say about the character of your side and how determined as a group are you to have something really tangible from what's been a brilliant season?
Yeah, like you said, it's been a brilliant season. We've been quite resilient. When we had knockbacks, we've always come back from them. So last week, we went down to 10 men. We showed our resilience, managed to get the lead, and now we're coming to this game 1-1. There's so many quality teams in the Premier League, there's so many quality teams in Europe, but we believe that we can come here, we can win the game, and that's what the plan is come here and win the game. Back there.
Michail, how are you? I think I'm making this as your 48th, well, the team's 48th game of the season. It's been a long season already. Physically, how are you and how are the team feeling at this stage?
Yeah, definitely it's been a physical season. There's been a lot of games that we've played, but you can see that there's a lot of players that are used to playing so many games. You can see the resilience that we have. You can see that we're out there and we're giving our all. And that's one thing we're definitely going to keep doing, is giving our all. It's a great opportunity for us. It's a dream come true to get to this far, and we're not going to let no one take it from us.
Michail, talk me through how Moyes have been able to give yourself and your teammates confidence that you can get through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League or potentially progress further as well.
One thing the gaffer has given us is the self-belief, that confidence that we can go out there and beat anybody. The first thing he came in, he said, is we can always score goals, but we were leaking a lot of goals. So once we shored up the back, one thing you can guarantee that we're going to score goals. So we shored up the back, and now we're scoring goals, and that's the confidence he's giving us, is to go out there and give it your all to win the games. And we believe that we will win the games against anybody. Like, we've beaten Liverpool this season, we've got good games against Man City. So we have that self-belief because the gaffer gives us that drive and gives us that belief.
Hi, Michail. Thanks so much for your time. I just wondered, how much French do you know, and have you been able to get by in France so far?
I know none. I know zero. I know a little bit of Spanish, but obviously Spanish doesn't work out here.
Hi, Michail. You spoke about resilience before. You haven't scored for quite a while now. People are probably doubting you a little bit going into tomorrow night's game. How are you feeling about your form at the moment?
Yeah, I'm disappointed that I've not scored in quite a while. This is the longest streak I've had of not scoring a goal in my career. But one thing about football is not about you personally, it's about being a team player. And that's one thing I definitely believe I am doing. As much as me not scoring goals, but I'm definitely bringing the team together. The team's playing off me. I'm bringing players in and I'm assisting goals. So as much as I'm not scoring them, I feel that I am helping out anyway.
Hi, Michail. We saw in the first leg they were quite
streetwise in how they managed the game in the first half and controlled the pace of it. Is that something that you guys need to learn from a bit and maybe do yourselves for this leg?
Obviously, one thing you always do is learn once you're playing teams. And obviously, it's our first time in Europe, so we are learning as we're going. Different teams play differently. And Lyon do like a lot of possession. They do slow it down, and especially because they're playing away. But now playing at home, they could completely change it. They could come out and attack and go for a hole, go for it all. So one thing we've got to do is go out there, first 15 minutes, judge how they're playing, and then we go play to beat them, basically.
Okay. Everyone?
Can I just ask you, you've had some pretty amazing celebrations when you've scored. You've set the bench quite high. Do you know what you will do if you manage it tomorrow? Because it has been a little while, hasn't it?
It has been a little while, and because it's such a big game, I've got a big occasion celebration. Definitely I do. I'm not sharing, no, I never share. You'll see it tomorrow once I've scored a goal.
Okay.
To get you put through hand luggage today.
Oh, if only they did.
You look forward to it.
Is that all for Michail?
Another one more. I've got something similar as well when it comes to celebrations. You've got some iconic, the Homer Simpson one, that's my personal favourite.
Yeah.
You know, that's a really good one. You know, when it comes to these celebration, how much work goes into it? Are you looking at YouTube for inspiration? Like, talk me through it.
Yeah, so basically, I actually work quite hard to think of these celebrations. I do look at YouTube. I look at certain things that I feel will actually maybe go viral or something like that. But there's certain things that I actually have to practice as well. Like when I did the worm, I knew I could do it when I was younger, but I was like, nah, I'm older. Do I actually think I can still do it? So I'll be in the hotel room doing the worm. But yeah, so those are the type of things that I do. I do revise, and hopefully it works out on the day.
Last.
As long as I do my job in the field, the gaffer doesn't mind it.
Last one from Jacob.
And you spoke about learning just now. I mean, last week, Lyon, there was a bit of, going down at times and everything, and there was the wink when Cresswell was sent off. Is there a bit of an edge maybe going into tomorrow night?
There's an edge anyway. It's a quarter-final. The game has to end tomorrow. So we know that we need to go out there and win the game. The game's going to be decided tomorrow, and it needs to be decided for us. We need to go out there. We need to win that game. So even before what happened last week, today was going to be edgy. Tomorrow's going to be edgy, and tomorrow's going to be a fight.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Michail will leave us now.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Who wants to kick us off? Gail? Ian?
Just Zuma, first of all, because I don't think we've spoken to you since the news broke. Any idea of how bad the injury is? He's obviously not here today, so how big a blow as well for you?
Well, we're still getting him checked fully and assessing it, so I couldn't give you an answer on exactly what time. But as you rightly say, he's not with us here today.
And just how big a blow, how big a rethink has that caused you with no Cresswell either?
It's a really big blow when you lose somebody who's a French international and a World Cup winner, really important to the team. But it happens in football. You get injuries along the road, and unfortunately, Kurt's got an ankle sprain.
You were pretty flat last week, but is there the sense that it's still 1-1? And often in sport, you don't get a second chance, do you? But it feels very much like you've got one tomorrow.
Well, I don't think we've got a second chance. We've got a great chance. If you'd given me quarterfinals of the European Cup, Europa League, 1-1, you go away from home, I'd have taken that off you all day long. So I'm not sure about the question, but I actually think that I'm saying to you that 1-1 at this stage in this competition is a really powerful position to be in. And we've got a wee bit of toughness about us, which I think we can show. We played for 45 minutes with 10 men, so let's see what we can do when we get 11 men.
Yeah. I've got 2 or 3 questions. The first one on team news, apart from Kurt Zouma. Anybody else who isn't available for tomorrow?
Well, I'm not going to give that news out. I've got some French journalists, but I've got we've all I'm sure like Lyon as well. They've got maybe some injury doubts, maybe not. So we're a bit the same. It's the time of the season. Not many games to go. Players have had a long seasons, which was mentioned earlier. So we'll need to wait and see how we are tomorrow.
We saw last night with Chelsea that they actually won the game on the night. They were brilliant on the night, but it wasn't enough for them to go through. Mm-hmm. I mean, would you be happy sitting here right now if your team stunk the place out tomorrow night but went through? Is that all? The be-all and end-all was the result. Is that right?
I think when you get to these stages, I think the be-all and end-all is the result, isn't it? Because there's no point in saying your performance was very good. I've got to say Chelsea's performance was excellent, but ultimately, I think you always look for the result. You want to get through and you want to qualify.
And of course, it could go to penalties. I won't ask you if you've been practicing. I assume they have been. But wouldn't it be a great script if in his last season, if it does go to penalties, if Mark was to send West Ham through to a European semi-final for the first time in nearly 50 years with a penalty? Well,
it's not the script I've got in my head. The script I've got in my head is that I win it earlier, and I don't need to go to that point. But I think it's important to be prepared for everything, and we'll try and make sure we are.
5-5. Hi, David. What did you learn about Lyon from last week, and how do you expect them to approach this one?
I expect them probably to approach it quite similar. I thought they played very well with the ball. I thought early part of the first half, I thought we had 1 moments as well. And in the end, I didn't think there was, by half-time, there wasn't a great deal between the two teams. But obviously the sending off made a big difference in the game. But I don't think you're expecting a great difference. You even seen the results in all the games in the Europa League. There was very little. I think it was only one game which was anything different than I think it was only that Braga were 1-0 up against Rangers. The rest of the games were all draws. I think the teams at this time are all very close together. Anything could change the games, like a sending off, like a poor decision could affect many of the games. So you've got to hope that you get the decisions when you need them, and hope that you don't get too many bad ones.
Hi, David. You've got the club on the up, and it's you're looking forward to this kind of thing being a regular part of a West Ham season. But when you get to this stage, a quarter-final, it's important that you kind of take the chance now when it's here and presenting itself now. Yeah. Do you think that's important that you?
I think the big thing is we have to show our levels of qualities need to rise. I think the standard of the teams, for example, Lyon, have really good qualities in some areas, but so do we, and we need to show that. I think we've probably showed our best qualities at times in this tournament, in Seville especially, and at home against Seville. I think we played very well in both games, so we have to do that. It's undoubtedly a big game, undoubtedly a really tough game, but I think we've been good this year when we've been challenged against Manchester City's, Liverpool's, Chelsea's. When we've been challenged, we've rose to the challenge. So let's hope that we can do that again.
Hi, David. I'm not expecting you to give your team away, but is Declan an option at centre-back, even if it might be in a back three tomorrow?
Yeah, no, Declan's played there before, and would give us a different dimension if we have to play him there. So we've got that possibility, but we also know that he's a big miss if we take him out the middle of the pitch. So we have to consider that. But overall, you have to use what you have, and if we have to, we will do.
David, obviously this is secondary to the result, but how important have these nights been to the sort of standing and the profile of the club, and taking it to the next level when that comes to the wider world and recruiting people and all the things that are affected by that?
Yeah, I think for West Ham it's a great time. I mean, I remember last year in the run in, maybe about this time, thinking, I wonder if we could make the Europa League. I wonder if we could get there. And actually, the Conference League was coming into consideration as well. And I'm thinking, the thought of us being in Europe would be fantastic. And I remember when we got there, I was thinking we were celebrating. It was a great feeling to get to European football. So I actually think we've won our group. Lyon won their group. We've both beaten teams who have been knocked out. Were knocked out of the Champions League. We've both beaten the champion. They've beaten Porto. We've beaten Seville. Both really good teams in European football. And we've drawn the first game 1 each. So I think that we've got to a stage now where we're saying this game could be really close. But for us, it's a great occasion. I don't want it to go. I want us to remain in it. I want us to keep going. I think our form at the start of the season was so good, and I think that's where we built up our sort of confidence because of how we played against the teams. We went away to Zagreb, and we'd a group which we were able to change our squad around and win, which is never easy. So it's been great credit to the players and how they've gone about it. And when I think we've been put to the test quite a lot, in the main we've been able to rise to the challenge. So we're going to be tested tomorrow against Lyon.
Does it matter that on the map in a European level and saying to the wider world, yeah, we're West Ham, we're a European team, and we can go far in these competitions?
Well, I think we've got to be careful because maybe at some levels we've not got the quality which would be at that level. So to be a side who's in the last 8 of this European competition, or teams who are in the last 8, you've got to have quality. Now we've got it in certain places, and we're going to have to show it.
For the mic, Ian.
Obviously, if Declan is booked tomorrow, then he would miss the first leg of a potential semi-final. One, do you think that will influence his game at all? And B, do you think by the time we get to last 4 of a competition, cards should be wiped?
Well, the rules are there, so I can't really answer it any other way than know that everybody knows the situation, the rules about it. I've been a player, and I think you play the game the best you can. I think there's part of you maybe have in your mind that you're trying to avoid bookings. I think any player would that the situation. I think we've seen it probably through history in players who maybe in semi-finals and can't play in World Cup finals or Champions League finals, where I think we're always trying to get the best players on the pitch and feel fair. Look, the rules are there, so we understand what can happen. But I'm sure it's the same for some of the players in Lyon. They'll have the same situation as well.
David, if Diop does play tomorrow, he's had some good performances this season. So the Carabao Cup win over Man United, he scored, I think, against Genk in the Europa League group stage game. So if he does play tomorrow, is the whole of that, he reproduces those sort of performances?
Mm-hmm. He's not really let us down. I mean, and he's come into the team quite a bit at different times. In fact, as you well know, there was probably a period when Kurt was out injured. I don't know if it was 6 or 8 weeks early in the season where we relied on him and we had him. So it's not something unusual for Issa. He's always been there or thereabouts. So hopefully, if he gets that opportunity, he's able to take it.
As you reflect on your managerial career, the Man United spell, Sociedad spell, and Sunderland, but more so Sunderland. Did you ever think that, one day you'll be back here managing at this level, quarterfinals of a Europa League, so fairly quick as well after that incident?
I always thought that if a club gave me an opportunity who was good enough to do it and had the potential, I thought I could try and do it. I'd done it in my other clubs. I had been there at Everton. I'd done it, not most years, but over the time. So I thought that given the opportunity to get there, West Ham gave me a great opportunity. And I thought West Ham were a club which actually, and I still do think, has got much, much more room to continue progressing and getting better. And thankfully, we've got better quite quickly in a short period. But then you get put right on the stage, and we're on the stage of a quarter-final of a European game. Can we stand up? Can we show our qualities? Can we show all the things that we've shown in the English Premier League for the last 2 years? If we can do that, it'll be a really good game tomorrow night.
Okay, is that everyone? Thanks very much.
Okay, cheers. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. See you later.